ought to teach you to knock before you open a door.
You should see that toast. I couldn't even get it through the door.
There's something haunting about the final journey, when a familiar face leaves not just the stage, but the country they once called home. These weren't just actors. They were icons whose lives flickered brightly on screens across the world.
You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure.
But when the curtain fell, it didn't fall in Hollywood, London, or New York. It fell far from home, in quiet towns, distant cities, and foreign shores. From the icy stillness of Switzerland to the warm echo of a Mexican film set, this is not just a tribute to talent, but to those whose final breath came in a land not their own. Stay with us until the end, because the final farewell in this journey didn't just mark a death.
I suggest you deliberate further. Perhaps consult with your superior.
It symbolized the silent end of an era that had once lit the world in color and sound. Charlie Chaplin was more than the man with the bowler hat. He was the soul of silent cinema. After rising from poverty in Victorian England, Chaplin built a comedic empire that shaped film itself. His little tramp persona wasn't just funny, it was profoundly human, offering joy and dignity to the voiceless. Political pressures drove him away from the United States in the 1950s, and he settled in Corsier-sur-Vevey, Switzerland. There, he lived quietly until his death on Christmas Day, 1977. He died peacefully in his sleep, far from the glare of Hollywood lights.
Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel.
But with the eternal spotlight of legacy shining on him. But as the world mourned, another icon quietly took their final bow. Ava Gardner, the Southern siren with eyes like storm clouds, was once deemed the most beautiful woman in the world. From her humble beginnings in North Carolina to starring roles in The Killers, Showboat, and Mogambo, Gardner captivated audiences with her raw, magnetic presence. She found solace later in life in London, drawn by its rain, anonymity, and escape from Hollywood pressures. Struggling with emphysema and recovering from strokes, she passed away in her London flat in 1990 at age 67. Her passing was quiet, but her image, smoky, sensual, and strong, remains eternal.
John.
Yes, Miss Larson.
Tell me, does Mr. Bourne still drop in?
Not quite as often, but often.
Let me know if he comes in, will you?
But while Ava faded into the fog of London, across the Channel, another star was fighting his final battle in full view of the world. Rock Hudson, the matinee idol who helped define masculinity in 1950s and 60s cinema, made the world laugh and swoon in films like Pillow Talk and Magnificent Obsession. Behind the charm was a deeply private man facing a world not yet ready to understand him. In the final chapter of his life, Hudson sought experimental AIDS treatment in Paris, far from the Hollywood industry that had adored him but silenced his truth.
I don't know what's bothering you, but don't take your bedroom problems out on me.
I have no bedroom problems. There's nothing in my bedroom that bothers me.
He died in 1985 at the age of 59. His death marked a turning point in public awareness of the AIDS crisis and put a beloved face to a growing tragedy. Across the Channel, a child of Hollywood met her end in shadows. Jean Seberg, an Iowa-born actress, became the face of the French New Wave after her unforgettable performance in Breathless. Her fame stretched across continents, but so did her suffering.
He won't let you dismantle it.
No, I told him it was dangerous. He said he wants it dangerous.
He's power crazy. He knows whoever has the bomb has the world by the tail.
Targeted by the FBI for her political activism, she battled anxiety, loss, and isolation. In 1979, she was found lifeless in her car in Paris, Her death ruled a probable suicide by overdose. She was only 40. Her life, like her performances, was filled with moments of brilliance and heartbreaking vulnerability, from Paris to Monte Carlo. Grace Kelly, the American actress who became Princess of Monaco, enchanted audiences in Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window and To Catch a Thief. Her story seemed the stuff of fairy tales. Oscar-winning actress turns real-life royalty. But in 1982, tragedy struck when she suffered a stroke while driving and crashed on a winding Monaco road. She died the following day at just 52. Though a princess by title, Grace Kelly never stopped being America's golden girl.
The first time I saw you was on the beach at Cannes. You swam ashore from a motorboat driven by that little French girl.
Embodying elegance, poise, and grace until the very end. And not far away, in a quiet Swiss village, another star's light dimmed, less with drama, more with dignity. Richard Burton, the thunder-voiced Welshman, stormed the stages of Shakespeare and the silver screens of Hollywood. With 7 Academy Award nominations and a tempestuous romance with Elizabeth Taylor, Burton lived as dramatically off-screen as on.
I charge you, Thomas Becket. Robert de Beaumont, hear me for the sake of your soul.
In 1984, at age 58, he died of a cerebral hemorrhage in the quiet Swiss village of Séligny. His voice, once compared to rolling thunder, was silenced, but the echoes of his Hamlet, his Mark Antony, and his roaring presence linger still. Just miles away, another star faced her quiet finale. Audrey Hepburn, the delicate embodiment of grace and strength, spent her final years doing humanitarian work across Africa and Asia. Though she lit up screens in Roman Holiday, Sabrina, and My Fair Lady, her post-Hollywood life was dedicated to children through UNICEF. Diagnosed with abdominal cancer, she returned to Tolochenaz, Switzerland, a village as gentle as her smile. She passed away in 1993 at 63. Her legacy transcends film. She taught us kindness never goes out of style.
As you grow older, you will discover that you have 2 hands, one for helping yourself, the other for helping others.
And just a train ride away, another quiet soul was preparing for his final scene, far from applause but never forgotten. James Mason, with his rich, velvety voice, brought refined depth to films like A Star is Born, Lolita, and The Verdict. A man of introspection, Mason preferred the quieter corners of fame.
My neuralgia is about to strike with heartburn, an old ally, and good night.
Which drew him to Lausanne, Switzerland. There, in 1984, he succumbed to a heart attack at age 75. With over 130 screen credits, he never shouted for attention. He let his characters whisper truth, and as the Alps gave way to deserts, a different icon, born in Cairo, beloved everywhere, took his final bow. Omar Sharif, born in Egypt, found international stardom through Lawrence of Arabia and Dr. Zhivago. With smoldering eyes and enigmatic charm,
you're going to be a big star someday, Miss...
Bryce, Fanny Bryce.
Fanny Bryce. I look for it in lights.
He bridged East and West at a time few could. Though he traveled the world, Cairo remained home, and it was there he died of a heart attack in 2015, his mind already dimmed by Alzheimer's. Yet, in his passing, Cairo didn't just lose a star, it lost a symbol of its golden age. From the banks of the Nile to the shores of the Caribbean, the world was losing its giants, one by one. Sean Connery, the original James Bond, passed in Nassau in 2020 at age 90. Though Scottish by birth and voice, he made the Bahamas home in later years. His death was peaceful, But the silence that followed felt thunderous. He was Bond, yes, but also the Untouchables, The Hunt for Red October, and so much more.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
A knight of the screen, he left behind a legend as timeless as a shaken martini. But long before the world said goodbye to Bond, it wept for a girl who once sang of rainbows and never found one of her own. Judy Garland, America's sweetheart with the aching voice, died alone in a rented home in London in 1969. She was only 47. Years of pressure, pills, and heartbreak led to an accidental overdose.
Where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops.
But Judy gave us more than Over the Rainbow. She gave rawness, truth, and a voice that still trembles through the decades. Her tragedy became her myth, but her songs remain lullabies to the wounded. Fame took them far, but neither Garland nor Flynn found peace at the end. Errol Flynn, the swashbuckler whose charm masked years of excess, died in Vancouver in 1959. Though still in demand, his health was wrecked by alcohol and exhaustion. At just 50, his heart gave out. But for a generation, Flynn was the rogue prince of Hollywood adventure, a man who sailed, sword-fought, and seduced with a grin.
Shelter and clothe and feed a band of good determined men, good swordsmen, good archers, good fighters.
The world had scattered its stars, but some found their final light back where their scandals once began. Ingrid Bergman, one of cinema's most luminous talents, lived a life of global scandal and success. From Casablanca to Autumn Sonata, her career spanned continents. In 1982, she died in London on her 67th birthday, after a battle with breast cancer. Elegant to the end, Bergman had faced both exile and applause, and bore both with dignity.
You'll come again, anytime.
You say goodnight to Sam for me.
I will.
There's still nobody in the world who can play.
And as the years turned, another screen goddess, born in Britain but claimed by Hollywood, prepared for her last great fade to black. Elizabeth Taylor, the violet-eyed empress of the silver screen, was born in London but raised under the California sun. By the time she was 10, she was already a star, and by adulthood, she was a legend. Cleopatra, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, her roles weren't just iconic, they were volcanic. She won 2 Oscars, survived 8 marriages, dozens of health battles, and decades of tabloid obsession.
You will therefore assume the position of a suppliant before this throne.
But behind the scandal was a fierce humanitarian and a loyal friend. In 2011, she died of congestive heart failure in Los Angeles at age 79. Though she passed in the country that made her famous, the world mourned a loss that felt international. Taylor wasn't just royalty, she was the crown. And in Paris, another queen of screen faced the end on her own terms. Bette Davis, whose eyes could cut steel or melt hearts, died in Neuilly-sur-Seine, near Paris, in 1989. Cancer had taken its toll, but not her wit. Her legacy includes Whatever Happened to Baby Jane and All About Eve, but also an indomitable spirit.
You be host. It's your party. Happy birthday, welcome home. And we who are about to die.
Even in death, Bette didn't fade. She glared into eternity, but thousands of miles away, another light went out. David Carradine, the star of Kung Fu and Kill Bill, was found dead in Bangkok in 2009. The circumstances were shrouded in mystery, officially ruled accidental asphyxiation. He was 72, a man of many roles. Cowboy, monk, villain, Carradine lived on the edge.
I see we are graced with the presence of the media favorite, Ranger J.J. McQuaid.
His final moments mirrored a life of paradox and curiosity, further back in time. Tyrone Power, the golden boy of 1940s cinema, died mid-scene in Madrid while filming Solomon and Sheba in 1958. At 44, a heart attack struck as he drew a sword. The film finished without him, but the story of his dedication lives on.
Faded the voice, warmth, whiteness, paradise, vanished unseasonably at shut of eve.
He died doing what he loved, performing, giving, creating. Then came laughter, gone in Mexico. John Candy, the lovable funny man from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and Uncle Buck, died in his sleep in Durango, Mexico, in 1994 while filming a Western parody. He was only 43. His loss felt like losing a friend.
Not her wart. Not her wart. I'm the wart. She's my tumor. My growth.
Big-hearted on screen and off, Candy made the world laugh and feel seen. Decades earlier, across a war-torn sky. Leslie Howard, remembered as Ashley in Gone with the Wind, was also a patriot and a scholar. He was returning from a British propaganda tour in neutral Portugal when German fighters shot down his plane over the Bay of Biscay on June 1, 1943. His death shrouded in mystery and conspiracy theories. Some said the Germans believed Churchill was on the plane. Others whispered Howard was a spy.
I think this little girl should be out in the sunshine playing with her dolls instead of being forced to give a revolting exhibition like this.
What is certain is a life lost in the name of art, and maybe something more. And in the final flicker of dragonfire, Bruce Lee, the trailblazer who shattered Hollywood's racial barriers, died in Hong Kong in 1973 at only 32.
My last name is Lee, Bruce Lee. I was born in San Francisco in 1940. I'm 24 right now.
A cerebral edema, likely due to a painkiller allergy, ended a life still on fire. But in that short span, Lee built a myth that martial arts alone could not contain. He moved like lightning, but lived like thunder. Not every story fits within a single spotlight, but each of these souls earned applause that never ended. Each name, a chapter, each life, a light, each final breath, a whisper across foreign skies. If these stories touched you, help keep their memory alive. Subscribe, share, and join us weekly as we honor those whose echoes still live on.